Welcome, fellow ruggers, to the last episode of 6 and 6. Today we are going to be talking about Wales. Before we get into all the awesome stuff, we do have a lot of retired players, so let's go ahead and take a look at those. Thank you, all of those Welsh players, for all that you've done for the international sport, for the club sport, and just honestly everything that you did for the country of Wales is much appreciated. It definitely helped grow the game of rugby. So, with that being said, let's go take a look at how they did in the 2023 Six Nations and how that's going to be leading into the 2024 Six Nations. So they ended up finishing fifth overall in the Six Nations, just above Italy, but they did finish number 2 in tackles. So they were pretty solid with their tackling and their defense, but they finished 6th overall in scrum win percentage and lineout. As you can see with those stats, they weren't great. Just a few years ago, Wales was a powerhouse, but that's also because of all the players that just recently retired. They did have Pivac, and this was the return of Gats. Warren Gatland came back in, even though he's been a big part of the Welsh rugby culture. Him just being gone for a little bit, Pivac ended up having his fingerprints on the clip. I'm not saying that that's horrible, but he had his fingerprints on that, and it's going to take a little while for Gatland to get the players that he wants, the players that he needs to play his type of rugby. Though we had that 2023 Six Nations, let's take a look at how they did in the World Cup. In the World Cup, they ended up finishing first in Pool C. 4-0 record, 19 points plus 84 in the scoring category. But they lost in the quarterfinals to Argentina 29-17. For team stats, they ended up finishing 4th overall in tackles with 835 and 7th in points and tries. For players, we had Luis Rees-Zammit 4th in tries with 5, and then we had tackling Machines, Rowans, and Jack Morgan. Well, from the 2023 Six Nations to the 2023 World Cup, something changed. I think that, pretty quick, Gats got his guys, got his players to play the way that he needed them to play. He prepared them, trained them well. So even though they didn't make it further, I'll be honest, I didn't even see him getting out of the group stage. But I was at the World Cup and I got to see most of their matches, and it was almost like night and day from what we saw in the Six Nations. Fantastic play of rugby. But yeah, moving forward, the big thing that there's going to be is it happened at such a bad time. I'm just going to say it. And it's kind of ironic because I have a picture of him here. But Luis Rees-Zammit is out of the Six Nations. He's going to try to play in the NFL. Good on him. That's your dream. Go for it. Why didn't you do this earlier? Like right before the Six Nations is coming. It's like, all right, hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to leave. It's like an NFL player basically right before the playoffs or something, being like, all right, you know what, I'm actually going to go try out cricket. That's going to be tough moving forward, just because to me, he's one of the best players in the world, probably one of the fastest. So that's going to be tough. So we will see how Rio Dyer, he's going to be an integral part of how this, the offense, how they run, how they use their speed on the outside. So we'll see how that all pans out. Well, everyone, that concludes our last episode of 6 and 6. I hope you enjoyed this. I definitely loved going back through all the stats and taking a look at all of these nations. That's something that's really fun for me. But these videos are not stopping. As we're going into the 2024 Six Nations, each round we're going to be doing a preview. And once all the matches are done, we're going to do a review, going to do some, stats, going to do some highlights, also going to be tying in some of my predictions. So thank you again so much for watching. Please don't forget to follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Tell all of your friends that like rugby, or if they don't even love rugby yet, just tell them that this is an awesome channel, and have some fun videos on TikTok as well. So thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you next time for the round 1 video.